Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And I wanted to take this opportunity to do a review of the Season 2 of 007 Road to a Million. So I actually had to take some notes while I was watching it. Now, I've watched the first 2 episodes, and right off the bat, I can say it's much, much better than Season 1. And already it's better from a Bond fan's point of view.
No way! Oh!
Because you've got lots of Bond music. Already in the first couple of episodes, we're in a amazing Bond location. There's throwbacks to Bond props and products. But it's, they had some of that, of course, in the first season, but they have really amplified it, and the contestants have even made some Bond references, which they did not do a single one in Season 1, which was my major criticism of Season 1, was just like, wow, they call this a Bond show, but they have not mentioned Bond, like, at all. But even they do some interviewing of people up front, getting to know them and things. And they're even told, they're going to have to find their inner Bond.
And find your inner Bond.
So let's begin. I was going to, let's see. So episode 1, and I put in parentheses here, huge changes. And of course, there were huge changes. Oh, yes. Okay. So first of all of the teams see each other. So in Season 1, they never met. They never saw each other, and except towards the end, in the finale. But here in the very beginning, all the teams, they actually see each other and can size each other up.
I'm sending you around the world on a series of missions. You will be competing against each other for the chance to win £1 million.
And some even, I remember they were like looking around and even kind of commenting just like, who's our major competition here and who obviously isn't. They were kind of prejudging each other that way. Our host, this time, he is not a villain, so to speak. Because I remember last time, it's almost like he was set up as a Bond villain. And he's lurking in the shadows and would just kind of speak out to them from time to time during the mission and evil laugh, I'm going to ruin your chances of. Now it's a little different this time. In fact, he is more like M. He's kind of set up to be more like M, with a staff. He's got a staff that's reporting to him, watching the things going on. In fact, he even does a briefing with all the contestants, and his briefing, it was kind of good. It was almost like it's started out kind of like Thunderball when they have the big briefing, and M's like, well, now that we're all here, and then Bond looks like, sorry, I'm late.
Well, now that we're all here.
It's kind of, he comes in there and just like, well, let's get this going, shall we? So he, it's kind of a briefing like M would have done. So Season 2, Episode 1, we are introduced to 4 teams. There's 8 teams. We're kind of get a glimpse of all of them, but for the Episode 1, the main focus is going to be on the first 4 teams. We're in Thailand, and immediately the music comes in. Man with the Golden Gun music. And it's just beautiful as you're coming through. The aerial shot flying over the Scaramanga's Island. That was really cool. And really nice Man with the Golden Gun shout outs. In fact, one of the first things they're on their competition, one of the first things they're told they need to find is good night. So they have to find good night.
I'll buy you dinner tonight. Good night, but first I have a little official business to attend to.
Yes, I saw the official business.
Good night. Would I do that to you after 2 years?
Yes, you bloody well would.
They all have to do the same challenges. They're all having to do the same challenges, but not at the same time. So in this one, it's not an actual head-to-head type competition where they're watching the other team and they're trying to beat them. It's the same challenge, but they're all doing it at different times, but it's being timed. And so whoever finishes first, of course, is going to win. Whoever finishes last. And the filming, I did make note of this. The filming is really good. This is not like a normal reality show. This is like Survivor, or even Amazing Race. You could tell there's a film look to it. Of you could tell when something's a reality show the way it's filmed. This is shot more like a movie. It really is. It's the filming of it is really top quality. It's nice. With the timing, I made note of this too, because in the background you can hear some music going. It's not always Bond music. It's just kind of some generic suspenseful music that will be playing. When they want it to be Bond music, it's very purposeful. In the background of some of the suspenseful music, you hear this as they're trying to complete the task. You hear like this low ticking, and it's this tick, 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 tick. So you're getting the sense of, hey, we are on the clock. We're being timed. We got to get this done within a certain amount of time, and it builds the suspense. And it's so low key. Some may not even realize it, but it's in there. Of course, it's drumming up the suspense. And I'm not going to be giving away who wins, things like that. I'm just kind of giving my review of it and just a real brief synopsis of it. But then at the end, the teams, they all have to wait for a call with the results. And guess what? So do we. We have to wait, because at the end of episode 1, they basically say, and the one who didn't make it is roll credits. So the usual. Okay, build up and then cliffhanger till the next episode. But fortunately, all the episodes are available, so that's nice. So we're going to find out who wins and who doesn't in the next episode, in episode 2. Now I'm going to do a review of episode 1 and 2 here, because they're very connected. But we do find out that whoever came in last is not eliminated. They're up for elimination. So that kind of gives you the idea. It's like, oh, okay, all right. So they've still got one last chance. All right. So then we go to episode 2. We meet our next 2 teams. Also in Thailand, but in Bangkok. Now, we were on the islands for the other one, and like they were going to Scaramanga's boat, his ship. That was part of the task. It was really, really cool. But now we're in Bangkok. We're in the city. A really cool shout out. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but there's a little bit of a shout out, because they have to go into this big skyscraper, and they're told to find the offices of the Carver Media Group. So there we go. Reference to Tomorrow Never Dies. with the Carver Media Group. All right, so similar challenge, very similar challenge that they have to do. The end result is similar as to what the first 4 teams had to do. They have to do kind of the same thing, but it's in a different environment, a bit of a different challenge. I will say heights are involved, and this is where I would struggle if I was a contestant in this. Extremely afraid of heights and get that whole vertigo thing. But well, I tell you, I would almost be like, just my sense of adventure, my sense of wanting to do something like this might actually overcome that. Yeah, so there some really scary heights are involved, but a really nice little challenge to it that they've got to figure out, and it's done really well. It was a lot of fun, that challenge. Let's see. I did make note that in the second episode, but I made this note through about halfway through the episode, and then the second, probably the last quarter of the episode, they amped it up a bit. But I noted here that there was a little less Bond music in the second episode, just more of the generic background suspense music. None of the actual Bond themes in that. But then a little later in the episode, you got more of the Bond music. And one other thing I did make note of in this, because I won't go in, like I said, I'm not going to go into great detail about the challenges and who wins and things. But one of the real interesting things I've noticed is they are giving away a lot of money. And this is one of those shows where kind of like, oh, you're a winner, everybody's a winner. Unless you come in last. But they are giving away serious money. And so it's not like they have a game show type mentality of, okay, well they won a couple $1,000s or something like that. No, they're giving away serious money to all the teams, each episode, each challenge. And I was thinking to myself, wow, this is going to add up quick. So the production value on this must be really high, just because in just award money. So that's pretty impressive. Everyone's wearing their Omega watches. This is not an Omega watch. I wish it was, but it is my No Time to Die shout out watch, and everybody's got their No Time to Die watches that they're wearing. All the contestants do, and that's pretty cool. If they were all given one to begin with, wow, production value just went up again, another notch. But lots of product placement, in their Bond product placement, props, shout outs are in there, and some of the contestants they'll see it and they call it out for what it is. They're just like, hey, look at that. So that happened once in season 1. I believe it was Goldfinger's car, and I remember one of the contestants pointed at it and just said, hey. And that was about as big a reference or as big a shout out as Bond got in season 1. Season 2, you've seen the commercial where one of the contestants is even humming the Bond song. But one of the other contestants finds one of the Bond props, and he's just like, hey, look at this. He knows what it is. All right. So that was episode 1 and 2. And then next for episode 3, we're going to be off to Austria. And so I'm looking forward to that. As the filming of this, I haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to be doing reviews as I go, as I'm watching this. Now, I've seen some people make comments that they're just like, I'm not going to watch it. I've made up my decision with season 1. I am not going to support season 2. I might have leaned a little bit that way myself because I was that disappointed in season 1. And I think the reason why I was disappointed mostly was because they amped it up as far as just like, oh, this is a Bond, and all the commercials, they got the dun 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 dun, and making it seem like this would be a Bond fan's dream to be a part of this. And then they didn't do much Bond at all, reference at all. And it turned into almost like more of a Trivial Pursuit type game. You would do this thing, but then the whole thing was you finish the task just to answer a question. But on this one, the task is the challenge. So they do have to complete this challenge. There is a little bit of trivia involved with it, but not like the first season where it was almost all about trivia, random trivia, not even just Bond trivia, random trivia. I know I'd seen David Zaritsky did a review of the whole series because he got contacted by Amazon and got to preview it all before it aired, which is really cool. I know one of the things he asked at the end was he was hoping that some real Bond fans could get onto the show. I was thinking that too. I was thinking that very same thing too. It would be nice if there was like some really geeky Bond fans on there geeking out over the location, or they would see something and really geek out about it and could even recall, like, okay, so at the beginning of season 2 and episode 1, they show the dive off the dam, as was in the very beginning of GoldenEye, and I'm thinking to myself, now I'm scared of heights. I would be scared to death to do this. But if I was going to do it, I think one of the things that would get me through it would be me pretending to be Bond and act out that scene in the movie. I mean, like really arms out, and then even as I'm going down, like reaching to my side and pretending that I've got the grappling gun ready to bring. I mean, I could see real Bond geeks doing things like that, acting out the scene of the movie, because that might actually get you through the fear of some of these things. So that would be cool. I know there's one team, they've been married, I think they said almost 30 years. There's another team was married like 28 years. It made me think of me and my wife. We've been married almost 30 years. And I was thinking, wow, this would be a lot of fun to do with my wife because, well, a couple of reasons. We love to travel. And of course, you know, your wife, your spouse is the best travel companion. But the funny thing is, so she would do great at any of the puzzles. She's the smartest person I have ever met. She would knock these puzzles out like nobody's business. Then the funny thing about it would be she hates James Bond. She really does. She's not a fan of James Bond at all. She's not a fan of my Bond memorabilia, things like she lets me do it, kind of thing, but tolerates it. But it would be pretty funny to see how she would do on a trip like this. I would be like Bond themed, but just getting to see these really cool locations. I think she'd appreciate the locations for sure. But anyway, enough of a review for episodes 1 and 2, and give it a shot. Give it a shot. If you were that disappointed in season 1, kind of like me, you're going to be pleasantly surprised, I believe, with season 2. And I'm only two episodes in, and I'm already just like, okay, this is way better. Much, much more fun to watch. So we will see you in the next review. I do also have some other videos coming up because, let's see, let me just adjust the camera just a little bit, because I do have some new props that I had been working on, and have found some new toys and memorabilia. So I do have some new things I wanted to share in that regard. All right. Thank you. If you've made it this far into the video, you're a trooper. I appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.